Fox 54 verifies all your burning questions about everything from the cost of electricity in Alabama to ladybug invasions. Here's what we checked out this week. As the government shutdown enters a second month and we near the record for the longest shutdown in U.S. history, budgets are tight for millions of Americans. Whether you've been furloughed, missed paychecks, or have delayed SNAP benefits, people from all walks of life are feeling the strain. And despite many local efforts to help, bills are still piling up. That includes electricity bills. We've seen claims that Alabama's rates are the highest in the South. So is that true? Let's verify. As winter approaches, many of us are already bracing for higher utility bills when we have to turn our heaters on. And for those impacted by the shutdown, those higher bills weigh extra heavy. But here in Alabama, we may already be at a disadvantage. Does Alabama have the highest cost of electricity in the South? We verify. Here's our sources. Choose Energy, the U.S. Energy Information Administration, findenergy.com, and poweroutage.us. According to Choose Energy, the average home in the U.S. consumes 863 kilowatts of electricity per month. But electricity bills vary by state and region based on different rate structures, utility fees, and local taxes. Choose Electricity ranks residential electricity rates by state, and Alabama ranks 28th on their list with an average cost of 16.19 cents per kilowatt hour in August of 2025. That's the national ranking. Every southern state on Choose Electricity's list ranks better than Alabama, with Georgia the closest at 15.54 cents per kilowatt hour. On poweroutage.us's ranking, Alabama has the most expensive electricity in the South at an average of 16.06 cents per kilowatt hour, or $184 per month. According to the U.S. Energy Information Administration, the average price of electricity in Alabama in August of 2025 was 16.19 cents per kilowatt, the same cost listed on Choose Electricity. This is the highest cost of electricity of any southern state, including Arkansas and Missouri. But how do local utility costs measure up? According to findenergy.com, Huntsville Utilities' average residential rate is 11.72 cents per kilowatt hour, which is notably less than the national average. Joe Wheeler EMC is 14.90 cents per kilowatt hour, and Decatur Electric is 11.40 per kilowatt hour. It's worth noting that the state's biggest provider, Alabama Power, has an average cost of 17.02 cents. Alabama Power provides service to a vast portion of central Alabama, including Birmingham, bringing up the state's average cost by a significant amount. So we can verify that, yes, Alabama does have the highest cost of electricity in the South. And if you have something you want us to verify, text us at 256-382-2692. The end of daylight saving time comes with its share of problems, from seasonal depression to sleep trouble. Many of us dread this time of year for our own reasons, but one little known problem you may want to be aware of: an increase in wildlife on the roads. Are there more wildlife versus car crashes when daylight saving time ends? Let's verify. It's no secret, not everyone thinks it's a good idea to set our clocks back and forward each year. Many states, including Alabama, have even introduced bills trying to get rid of daylight saving time altogether. But have you ever thought about how the time change impacts wildlife? Are there more animal versus vehicle collisions when daylight saving time ends and darkness falls earlier? We verify. Our sources are the University of Washington School of Environmental and Forest Sciences, AARP, and Environment Virginia. According to a publication by the University of Washington's School of Environmental and Forest Sciences, there are around 2.1 million deer vehicle collisions in the U.S. each year. They studied a data set of more than 1 million deer versus car collisions in 23 states from 1994 to 2021. They found deer vehicle collisions are more common in the hours before and after sunset, when deer are more active. Their research found a 16% increase in deer vehicle collisions during the week after daylight saving time ends. But what causes this uptick? Surely the deer's internal clocks don't change. It's all about traffic patterns. When our time falls back, traffic patterns also change by an hour. And like any abrupt shift in human activity, this change catch wildlife off guard. When we fall back, we create one more hour of high-danger driving. More cars are on the road when wildlife are used to roaming. Fall is also mating season, which increases deer activity. It's a reminder that wildlife operate on solar time while we follow clock time. When those patterns get misaligned, collisions increase. So we can verify that yes, the number of deer versus car collisions does increase when daylight saving time ends, especially in the first 2 weeks. So be extra careful on your drive home these next couple of weeks. WorldDeer.org shares a few tips for avoiding these collisions. Exercise extra caution during dawn and dusk, adhere to post-wildlife crossing signs, reduce speeds where recommended, and understand that deer often travel in groups, so one crossing animal may indicate others nearby. It happens every year. What seems like out of the blue, ladybugs start appearing in droves on your porch, in your house, and even your car. And it seems that this week the ladybugs have arrived. Are we experiencing the annual ladybug invasion? Let's verify. Typically, we think of ladybugs as harmless little critters that we see in the spring and summertime. They've even been trendy at times. But when they start taking over porches and invading homes, many of us start to feel differently. And it's that time of year the ladybugs are taking over. So is this an annual ladybug invasion, and are they just a harmless nuisance? Let's verify. Our sources are the Cook Museum of Natural Sciences and the Farmer's Almanac. Here's what we found. According to the Farmer's Almanac, ladybugs gravitate to warm places during the day, doing anything and everything for a bit of warmth. They gather in groups for this same reason, warmth. We typically see this behavior this time of year, as that's when temperatures really start dropping. But ladybugs aren't just looking for a warm hangout. They're looking for a place to go into diapause, a state of suspended development or dormancy that insects enter to survive unfavorable environmental conditions. It's like when bears hibernate for the winter. Their metabolism slows dramatically, they stop feeding, moving, and reproducing, and they survive on fat reserves stored in their bodies. They also release pheromones that attract other ladybugs to the same spot for diapause, as grouping together provides warmth and protection. But Cook Museum of Natural Sciences tells us there aren't more ladybugs this time of year, they're just more noticeable because of their grouping. But are they anything more than a nuisance? Most ladybugs don't bite, but Asian lady beetles are more aggressive than other species. They're identifiable by the M or W-shaped marking behind their head. They may bite if they're handled roughly or squeezed, if they feel threatened or trapped, and when they're seeking shelter indoors and accidentally land on you. The bite is minor and relatively harmless. They're also generally safe for pets unless consumed in a large quantity, which could cause stomach upset. So we can confirm that yes, we are currently experiencing the annual ladybug invasion, but it's more of a nuisance than any kind of danger. Experts recommend just vacuuming them up if you want to get rid of them. SNAP benefits are top of mind for millions of Americans who depend on it. It's during the ongoing government shutdown that's now the longest in U.S. history. Even with the federal judge's ruling today ordering the Trump administration to fully fund SNAP this month, requires the USDA to tap into a contingency fund to make the full payments to states by tomorrow. Some people haven't received SNAP funds for weeks. But all this talk of SNAP also has people talking about what SNAP funds can buy. Can you buy anything with SNAP benefits? Let's verify. What do SNAP recipients in Alabama look like? The biggest age group of recipients is children. They make up 43% of those receiving SNAP assistance. More than 323,000 kids across Alabama depend on these benefits for their daily meals. The program also serves as a lifeline for seniors and people with disabilities. Nearly half of all households receiving SNAP have a disabled member, and about a third include a senior citizen. And contrary to some common misconceptions, most of these households are working. 3 out of every 4 SNAP households in our state have at least one person earning a paycheck. The average benefit amounts to $6.31 per person per day. What can SNAP recipients use that money to buy? Can they buy anything? We verify. Our source is the U.S. Department of Agriculture. According to the USDA, SNAP benefits can buy fruits and veggies, meat, poultry and fish, dairy products, breads and cereals, snack foods and non-alcoholic drinks, and seeds and plants. This includes anything classified as a staple food, which is defined by the USDA as the basic foods that make up a significant portion of a person's diet and are usually prepared at home and eaten as a meal. SNAP benefits cannot buy alcoholic drinks, cigarettes and tobacco, marijuana and CBD products, vitamins, medicines and supplements, live animals, hot foods, pet food, cleaning supplies, paper products, and hygiene items and cosmetics. SNAP benefits also cannot be used at a restaurant as that food is not considered staple foods. But can SNAP recipients use their funds for grocery delivery through DoorDash or Uber Eats? According to the USDA, you can use EBT cards for online purchases like groceries on an app, but the SNAP funds will not cover delivery service or convenience fees. However, several apps are offering free delivery for SNAP recipients, including DoorDash and Instacart. So we can confirm that no, SNAP benefits cannot be used for anything. There are specific guidelines set forth by the USDA. And if you have something you want us to verify, text us at 256-382-2692.